Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, my name is Falih Al Aziza, and today I will explain to you what is a noun clause. So a noun clause is a dependent clause that due to its sentence structure turns into a noun. If it stands alone, a noun clause actually appears as a complete sentence. However, because it depends on another sentence, the nature of the sentence changes to become a noun. In fact, as long as the presence of nouns and pronouns in a sentence is sufficient, the existence of a noun clause is not really needed. A new noun clause is needed if a sentence requires more information to be understood. Like example, I want to borrow the book. Sentence with noun after it. The sentence is right, but it's not a noun clause. Like example, I want to borrow it. Sentence with a pronoun after it, but uh, it's gonna make the person that you ask gonna make them really confused. What thing you want to borrow? Because you didn't tell them what is the thing you want to borrow, and it's not a noun clause. The second example is I want to borrow the book. Sentence with noun after it. It's a noun. And the third example is I want to borrow whatever the book Sarah ever lent you. Sentence with noun clause after it. And then noun clause formula. The formula of noun clause is word, subject plus verb plus etc. Like example, I didn't understand what you said. Can you repeat it once more? That's the formula. If you want to know how to make it easier to recognize a noun clauses, there's a few ways you can learn about. The first is every noun clause has its own subject and verbs. Second, the function as a noun in a sentence, whether subject noun or object noun. And the third is starting with a noun clause marker. The example is question words if or whether and or that. So next I will explain to you noun clause marker. Noun clause marker are words that are usually used to start a noun clause. The types of noun clause markers include question words, 5W plus 1H, if or whether, and that. If you see a dependent clause preceded by these words, that means the dependent clause is a noun clause. And then, what is the noun clause formula? After discussing the meaning, function, and characteristic of noun clause, this time we will discuss the formula. So, the noun clause marker is the basic of the noun clause formula. For more details, you can pay attention to the noun clause formulas below. First is if or whether plus subject plus verb. Like example, he could choose whether to buy a computer or a new smartphone. And then the second example is that plus subject plus verb. Like the example that he will leave why I'm so sad. Then the types of a noun clause. The first is subject noun clause. The subject noun clause is a noun clause that acts as a subject in sentence. Example, when she will come is still unsure. The second example is object noun clause, the opposite of subject noun clause, and object noun clause acts as an object in a sentence. The example is I could decide when to go to festival. The third example is complement noun clause. Complement noun clause is a noun clause that is added to provide further information about the independent clause that is related to it. Like the example, his choice is whatever except for his family. The last is object of proposition noun clause. The object of the proposition noun clause is the noun clause which is the object of the preposition of and for. Example, I will fight for what I'm sure it's the truth. So that's my explanation about noun clause. Thank you for your attention and see you next time.